There are only two ways on and off Beaver Island, by plane or by boat.
Wait, when Lake Michigan freezes, there's really only one. 9 on 10's Eric Lloyd takes us to the air in Tough Jobs Tuesday and has more details on the people who make modern life possible on Beaver Island.
There are many inhabited islands in the Great Lakes, but none as remote as Beaver Island. 32 miles off the coast of Charlevoix, the only way to get there is by boat or by plane.
Our boat stops running to the island in December, typically the 10th to the 20th. So the moment that happens, this is what happens. We get all the freight to the island, so it's the grocery store, the restaurants, the bars. A typical day this time of year is 7,000 to 10,000 pounds of freight.
Angela Lefevre-Welke is the president and owner of Island Airways, the main airline tasked with getting freight and people to and from the island. The number of flights each day is set by demand.
You're telling me that's a light load for now?
That's a light load. That's probably 60 or 70 packages, and in the summer it's not unusual to have over 100 packages. There are days, you know, as the summer population goes up around July 4th, there are probably 2,000 people on the island. And if they're there for a week or two, they order things. So, you know, between FedEx and UPS, we can do 200 to 300 packages a day.
And I mean, you guys are taking all the supplies the island needs, but people that live there have gotten savvy and realized.
Absolutely. A lot of people order medicines online, office supplies, you know, the things that, you know, instead of going to Traverse City for the day, you can get office supplies and clothes.
By ordering and having it shipped, the customers avoid the freight costs. They just pay normal shipping. But in the winter, there is no other option. Whatever it is, if an islander needs it, it has to be flown over.
I rode in a flight last year with 6 dog crates filled with baby goats.
Okay.
Baby turkeys, some lambs. We did lambs last summer too. I think there were 14 of them in little dog crates. I got on a flight once with a ferret. I didn't know what was in the back, and all of a sudden it's like, the kid's got a ferret on its lap. Just a little bit of everything.
Every day is like this, packing up to 1,600 pounds in each plane to get it across. And there's only one thing that will ground the airlines.
Weather.
Today it's negative 1 degrees, but it's
gorgeous. Friday, we got one flight in. Our pilot got stuck on the island for the night. One of our mechanics who lives here and works there got stuck. We got the first flight in and we never flew again.
Beaver Island has its own ecosystem. Weather can be drastically different between the island and Charlevoix. But today, we're clear on both ends.
Wait till you guys get to the island today. There is snow everywhere. We had probably 10 inches of snow.
I figured for my first flight I would dress the part, but this is only my first flight. Today they're going to make 5 round trips to the island and back. Now that's busy for a winter Monday, but for a day like the 4th of July weekend, they're doing dozens of flights, maybe even 30 of them, because so many people want to enjoy the island life.
It's a small plane and I'm a big guy, so my only goal was not to touch anything. I left that to this guy, Ashley Messenger, a former commercial pilot who wasn't ready to retire from flying but wanted to stay close to home. A flight log full of 60-mile round trips was perfect.
I had never heard of Beaver Island. I knew that there were inhabited islands in Lake Michigan, but I didn't pay much attention to it. You know, I had never come here for vacation or anything. And realized that there was a thriving community there. They have come to rely on the airplane. The airplane rather much makes the life on the island a bit more like life on the mainland.
And with that, we're ready to take off, with a load of mail and packages waiting to be delivered.
You ready to go? Yeah, let's go fly.
A tight squeeze, but a beautiful view. The ice chunks forming in the lake, proving ferry travel would be impossible.
The flight over, depending on the wind, runs between 9 minutes and 13 minutes. Today, on this leg, we've got the tailwind.
Ashley gave us the scenic tour, circling the island, highlighting the town of St. James on the island's northern tip.
The vast majority of the housing is located along the shoreline, so it rings the island, the perimeter of the island. Once you get inland, there's very few structures.
There aren't any superstores and prices are a little bit more expensive. But thanks to the connection the planes and pilots provide, life on Beaver Island is idyllic for those searching for quiet. So far away, yet just offshore.
I knew when I moved there it was going to be different. There were going to be some things I couldn't get as easily. And it was going to, you know, that remoteness, there's a price that you put on that. It's a little markup.
Somewhere over Lake Michigan, I'm Eric Lloyd, taking you on another Tough Jobs Tuesday.
Next week, Eric will head north and take a crack at ice breaking in the Mackinac Straits with the U.S. Coast Guard.